All right, I guess we'll wait for people to show up. Just gonna hang out for a second until we get confirmation that other people can fucking hear me and shit. It definitely did shut down my stream, but that's okay. It was worth a shot. Yeah, let me pin this again. Hey y'all. Thanks for being here again. Rip. Am I right? 2 weeks in a row with this. I might need to get a new battery. That might be the issue. Cause it's like hella overloading the CPU again. I don't understand why it didn't do this before, but it does now, you know? All right. So there's that again. Apparently I have to buy a new monitor or a new battery, so help me out with that if you want. Man. I'm doing my best, y'all. Shit keeps fucking happening. It's just the worst. Anyway. Cool. We got like what, 10 people here again? So say hi if you're here. Because I appreciate that. Y'all coming back to support and shit, you know? We're definitely just gonna do these updates and then be out of here, and then I'll have to look into what the fuck the problem is and try to get it fixed. Are you charging through a USB-C dock? Yes. Yes. I am. It's just a regular, or it's the, fuck, what was it called? It's the higher speed one. It's not the one that's out of the box, because that one was not working at all. It's okay, 9 volt, I appreciate it. No worries. We are chilling. Yeah, we'll see. As long as it's not draining faster such that I can't even like finish a 2-hour stream, we'll be okay. Are you on an Intel or M series Mac? Let's find out. Intel. 2.2 gigahertz, 6-core Intel Core J-i7, something like that. Yeah. I mean, honestly, it's not the best computer in the world. Like, it would be better to have a better one, you know? But unfortunately, these things aren't free. That's the issue? Oh, that's not good. Can I get a better processor? Or not the cost of a new laptop? Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing that I'm confused about. If this happened, like, as soon as I started doing this, then I'd be like, oh, well, shit. I guess I have a fucking piece of shit computer that can't handle streaming. But I've been doing this since, like, March or something like that. Like, I've been doing it a while, and it hasn't been an issue yet. So I don't quite understand what the reason is that it would decide to shit the deck, like, randomly a week ago, you know? That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But anyway, maybe we'll go ahead and finish talking about Avatar. All right. So, batteries age, sadly. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. But if you're saying it's the battery and not just like the fact that I have a shitty processor, then like, yeah, that makes sense. And I could replace the battery for a reasonable cost, I think. But yeah. Okay. I gotta say, having after I watched fucking Emilia Perez, I was like, yo, is Zoe Saldana just not a good actor? Because, like, I mean, the movie's terrible and she's not good in it, but, like, that's not necessarily her fault, right? Um, I don't think she's very good in this either. I think she's, like, way over the top, very histrionic, like, kind of just not my favorite. I gotta be honest. So there's that. But what else? Okay, the main thing I want to say about this movie, and again, I am not endorsing political violence when I say this, right? But, like, it's really interesting to me what you can get away with if you just put it in a story as opposed to in, like, a political manifesto or something like that. Like, if you make up a fictional scenario that is like a one-to-one correlation to things that are happening in real life, you can go hard and you can make your story as violent as you want and the audience will cheer. And I think that that is interesting. So, like, these movies, the Avatar films, are, like, literally about, like, violent resistance to settler colonialism, right? Like, that's literally what it's about. And that's a thing that happens constantly all over the world, but it is particularly in the news as of late, right? And, you know, everybody, like, the your average normie is going to condemn violent militant resistance to colonialism, apartheid, genocide, murder, etc. They're gonna, you know, bend over backwards to condemn that. But if you put the same thing in a $300 million fucking movie, like, suddenly everybody's, like, cheering along when, like, just foot soldiers, just, like, regular people are, like, fucking destroyed in these movies. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was taken aback by how violent this movie is. Like, and, like, in the narrative, and, like, I think we would agree, like, it is justified. Like, people are, like, these people are, like, their homes are being completely destroyed, their peoples are being wiped out, they're just being subject to, like, the most awful shit, and, like, they're banding together to fight back against it. And as it turns out, when people are coming at you with violence, much of the time the way to respond to that actually gets results is with violence, right? I'm gonna get demonetized. I gotta be careful. And, like, I don't know, like, you watch these fucking blue people, like, mow down the fucking American imperialists, and you're like, hell yeah, leave Sam Worthington alone, leave Sigourney Weaver alone, you know? It's the same thing in Star Wars, right? Like that. And, like, I don't know how he got away with it, but George Lucas just straight up said that that was a one-to-one, like, analogy, maybe stand-in, whatever you want to call it, for the Viet Cong. Like, these are not pro-empire, pro-American, pro-imperialist works of art, you know? And I think it's just really easy. It's really interesting how easily a message like that goes down if you put, like, $300 million of special effects on top of it, or if you put a compelling narrative on top of it, or, like, a hero's arc on top of it, right? But if you did the same thing and you set it in Palestine, like, people would lose their minds, you know? If you did the same thing, but you set it in, I mean, the thing is, like, I feel like you can even get away with this in the past a little bit. Like, if you were to set a story like this in, like, India during the, like, British colonial rule, like, the conservatives would be mad at it, obviously, but, like, I think the average person would be like, yeah, that's reasonable, that's justified, you know? Like, oh, 9 volt, thank you so much. That's crazy, thank you, that's really kind. Sorry about the technical issues, me too, man. I'm trying to be professional here, but this is a real bummer, you know, that just, like, I don't know, everything's falling apart, but thank you, that's really kind of you. Yeah, I just do really appreciate that. You're the best. Thank you all, and thank you for your help troubleshooting all of this as well. I think as I'm just letting this run, like we're hanging out at 92%. I think as long as I have the battery saver on and I'm just chilling, I'm not doing anything too crazy, don't have 100,000 Chrome tabs open or whatever, like I think we're doing okay. So that's good. Oh, I can probably turn this off. The activity monitor. Cool. I don't know. Hopefully y'all know what I'm trying to say with this. I just thought it was really fascinating, especially, okay, also like there's so many things in the news recently where the narrative is like violence is never, ever, ever okay. Like political violence has no place in our society, in our country. And like, yeah, that should be true. You know, like it would be better if like people didn't have violence as the only way to like release the pressure valve of like horrific material conditions that we're all living under, and like historical wealth inequality and violence enacted on us again, like by the state and stuff like that. It would be great if there were nonviolent means to, or if people felt like there were nonviolent means to fix that, you know? But a lot of people don't. And when it happens in real life, it's horrifying and you don't want to see it. And when it happens in a movie, you're like, fuck yeah, get their ass. Maybe that is an obvious distinction that people listening be like, well, yeah, because one of them is real and one's not. But like the principle there, I feel like there should be some interrogation when people watch this and they're like, why do I think that this is cool and based and awesome? You know? I don't know. Hopefully I'm making sense. That's probably enough of that before I get put on a watch list. Next. Oh, I'm not on the thing. Let me go back over here. Okay. We did all of these. Perfect Blue. I watched a new 4K restoration of this in a theater. I gotta say, it wasn't in my favorite theater in town. It wasn't, like, the biggest screen or, like, the nicest setup or whatever. So, like, I didn't notice a huge difference between this and there's when I watched it on Blu-ray a few years ago. But, yeah, this is ranked at, like, 73 of all time. I mean, it really is that good. Like, this movie's pretty amazing. I think it has some issues in how it represents mental illness, specifically DID. You know, it's imperfect, right? It's also like fairly old at this point. It's as old as I am. Wait, when did it come out specifically? Ooh, I'm technically a little bit older than this movie, so, you know, not to brag or anything. Rising pop star Mima quit singing to pursue a career as an actress. After she takes up a role on a popular detective show, her handlers and collaborators begin turning up murdered, harboring feelings of guilt and haunted by visions of her former self. Mima's reality and fantasy meld into a frenzied paranoia. Yeah, so I think that this movie has a lot to say about identity, about how women are perceived in the public sphere, like in public life. It's very prescient in terms of how the internet has created problems for women and for celebrities, and for the intersection of those two things, like toxic fandom and weird incel dudes and all that shit. Hi, Tony. Thanks for being here. I'm okay. I hope you're okay. And what else? Yeah, there's a scene in here that is pretty upsetting. It is like a sexual assault scene, but like not really. It's you know what I'm talking about if you've seen it, but it is upsetting. And that was what I had remembered as being the most upsetting part of it. But I think the parts of this that are more difficult to sit through and more of an assault on my psychological well-being are like the ways in which it plays with our perception of what's real and what's not, and how accurately it captures what it's like to feel like that. Like if you've been in Like if you have like mental conditions that create those circumstances for you, or if you are in abusive relationships that contain people that are making you feel that way on purpose. I think that this film does a really great job of capturing what that feels like. Like I am in a very different place in my life now than I was when I first watched this. How long ago did I first see this? 20, so 3 years in between, almost to the day. That's crazy. And yeah, yeah, dude, I don't know. I've been through a lot in those 3 years that have made me relate more and more to this experience that is portrayed in this film. Just like being a public facing feminine person, just being having my own like a perception of like reality and stuff actively sabotaged and questioned and fucked with, you know. Um it's a really powerful film, and it's one that connects with me personally a lot. And I think it's beautiful, and I think it's really well made. It's a banger. Um, I gotta say, my man, Satoshi Kon, I haven't seen Tokyo Godfathers or Millennium Actress, but I'm told that they deal with similar themes. I've seen Paprika. So, like, both of the films that I've seen are about women who are going through identity crises, right? And I think that this dude has a, let's say, paranoia agent is great. I'm gonna say that he has a weirdly accurate idea of what it's like to be like a woman or like a feminine person, like a femme presenting, or like what it's like to be perceived as a woman. You know what I mean? What it's like to feel femininity like as a core part of yourself. I'm not trying to be that person who's like everybody, I'm trans, so everybody's trans, but like, bro, there's something going on here. It's very consistent. The intersection of like femininity and identity that he keeps exploring in his works. I don't know. He's dead, so like we can't ask him, and he couldn't come out or whatever. But I'm not gonna say that he was trans, but like I'm just saying there's something going on there. Paranoia Agent is great. We need to do a Tokyo Godfathers watch around Christmas or New Year's. I would love that. Is it a Christmas movie? Because I'm planning a Christmas marathon, and I could definitely program that if that's what's going on there. If it's a New Year's movie, I might want to do a separate New Year's marathon because there's a lot of good New Year's movies. It's a 13 episode TV series. Nice. Oh, it is a Christmas and New Year's movie. Okay. Yeah, I'll try to put that in the rotation. I also second that Paranoia Agent is great. I need to rewatch it. Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be hard to go through this person's entire filmography, so I don't know, man. I'm seeing like the same things in all of these, you know? Follows a woman as she becomes fully awake. Curious. Female awakening, huh? Okay. Whatever, bro. Hold on, let me look this guy up again real quick. I'm trying not to be out of bounds here, but like, I don't know, man. Died of pancreatic cancer at 46. Man, that sucks. Well, let this be a lesson to us all to not wait until it's too late to create the art that means something to us, you know? The lesson I could use for myself. VHS Halloween. Oh no, I already talked about this. Womp. Okay. Did that one, did that one, did that one, did that one. Did that one, that one, that one, that one, that one. Ooh. I didn't get to talk about Frankenstein. And I loved Frankenstein so much. Okay. Here, I'm just going to read my review. Achingly beautiful. For my money, this is the most accurate major motion adaptation of the story by far, and the one that captures the pathos and emotional heart of the narrative the best. GDT continues to hit just the right amount of schmaltz for me. My only criticisms are that I wish it was a little bit more subtle about its themes, and I wish Victor was a more nuanced character here. However, the creature is fantastic and also really, really hot. Do not drop the ball and miss it if you have an opportunity to see this on a big screen. So here in Richmond, it's actually still playing, and it's playing as of like next week, which is kind of crazy. But my friend Annie Rose Malamit, Girls Get Shallow, she watched this and hated it and was like shit talking it online. So I was kind of like, ooh, I hope it's good, because the Frankenstein story is one that I have a lot of history with. I've read the book a few times. I've seen a lot of the adaptations of it, and I love Guillermo del Toro. So like I was like, this has got to be a knockout. Oh, thank you. $1 for each of the 12 gorgeous box sets behind you, and another $3 for that killer Skinamarink phone. Keep being awesome. I appreciate that. I'm glad we noticed the Skinamarink phone. Does it have a name? What is the Skinamarink fandom called? The Skinnies? Have the Skinnies dubbed a name for the chatter phone? Is that what it's called? Chatty Cathy? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Dustin. I appreciate it. Dustin has just been, you said you were out of the hospital? Like, everybody say, shout out Dustin. Everybody say hi to Dustin for being awesome, and wish him well and wish him a good recovery, because, yo, health stuff is no joke. Like, take care of yourself, you know? GDT being subtle, LOL. Okay. Okay. Before we come for my man right now, okay? Because I love him so much, okay? He's like the best. He's one of my favorite contemporary filmmakers, like, for sure. Pneumonia slowly getting better. Yeah, that sucks. I've never had pneumonia. Knock on wood, or particle board, or whatever this is made of. Geez. What am I saying? Oh, yeah, he's never been particularly subtle. Like, he writes fairy tales, you know what I mean? And fairy tales are meant to have a message. And so it's kind of missing the point a little bit of a fairy tale if you don't get your message across, right? But there's certain parts of this movie where I swear to God, Oscar Isaac or the creature look straight into the camera and say, hello, this film is about this. It's like, okay, I know, we get it. We get it, okay? You don't need it. It's Frankenstein, bro. Everybody knows the message of Frankenstein. Like, if you're smart and cool enough to be watching this in the first place, like, you know what this story is about. Like, relax. You don't need to just like tell us straight to our face, you know? It's a little insulting. But like, that's something I keep seeing in movies this year, and like, I really gotta feel like it's studio notes. Like, I feel like Netflix was like, they're not gonna get it if you don't just tell them. I don't know. Whatever. Or maybe, you know, he just wanted to make sure you understand who the real monster is, right? Yeah, it's a real fucking surprise, right? Anyway, I was so happy that I got to see this on like a premium screen. So like the theater in town, the like local theater here, they have this new thing where it's like, it's not IMAX, but it's like a much bigger screen and like better sound, and like it's just a more immersive experience. And I saw it on one of those screens, and it just looked and sounded so good. Like, it was gorgeous. Like, I felt, it's just, this world felt so lived in, and so like the cinematography and the color palette, the color grading, I mean, it's just all so gorgeous. And yeah, and like, I don't know, the idea that most people are gonna watch this on their phone or just like on Netflix is just like a bummer to me. But I'm really glad that it's had such a successful, or at least long-running theatrical run here in town. I'm curious, how much has this made so far? Frankenstein 2025. Budget of $120 million and a box office of 300,000. So that's like nothing, actually. But like, it's not really fair to judge it based on that because it's not supposed to make its money back. It's just supposed to exist on Netflix. That's interesting, though. I would have thought that he would have made a little bit more than that. I'm surprised it's lasted this long anyway. Yeah, Oscar Isaac is just kind of like a cartoon villain in this. He's not really like as nuanced as I think he is in the story or in like Victor Frankenstein. I think that his character has a lot of nuance, and he's not just like he's just kind of like comically evil in this and just like cruel for the sake of being cruel, and like his motivations don't always make a ton of sense, or they do, but it's like a little too convenient or a little too easy, you know. Look, Jacob Elordi, I think is his name, as the creature is so good. The cinematography and the editing, the costume design, the production design, it's all so fucking good. And like, yeah, like I said, this is a story that means a lot to me, and I feel like in terms of cinematic adaptations, we've really not done a good one. Like, people love the original Frankenstein, and it's good as its own thing, right? But it's a terrible adaptation, I think. I don't think it's a very good one. And honestly, that I struggle to connect with that movie. Like, Boris Karloff is great, but like that's kind of it for me. I think The Bride of Frankenstein is better. There is a, let me pull it up. There is a mini series that I haven't seen since high school, but I watched it right after I read the book because in high school, excuse me, I read the book. And then I immediately watched the original Frankenstein, and I was like, what the fuck is this? This is not even close. This is trash. And I like had heard, I don't remember how I found this, but I guess I had heard that it was a good adaptation of the book. And so I sought it out, and now I do have it in my collection, so I'm going to rewatch it. But this one here, 2004. Honestly, look at him. I feel like they took some inspiration from this, because this is pretty similar. It's a 2-part miniseries. It's got William Hurt and Donald Sutherland in it. It's directed by the guy who did Motel Hell, which is really funny to me. And also The Land That Time Forgot, this boring ass dinosaur movie, and also this Jesus biopic starring Christian Bale as Jesus. What a crazy filmography this guy has. But I remember this being like amazing, and so I need to rewatch it. But it looks like it's on a lot of free services. Yeah, I don't know. But in terms of a not miniseries, yeah, I think that this is the one by far. That is the good one. The poster is so gorgeous too. Fuck, dude, I was at that theater yesterday and I forgot to check if they had the posters. I feel like I would have seen them if they did. But I know that some places are doing IMAX screenings and giving away posters with this artwork on it. Bro, insane. So good. Look at this image. God, I love this movie so much. I think it's it's a little bit long, but I think it feels right for getting all the story in there. It's violent as fuck. Like it gets nasty when it needs to. So yeah. Okay, catch up on chats. GDT though, so visually sumptuous. Yeah, for sure. My man knows how to put together a fucking frame, you know? Like, shit. And like all of his movies are a little bit schmaltzy, you know? But like in a way that feels genuine and endearing, and like he just loves people, and they're very humanist films, you know? So I really respect them for that. The future Criterion 4K of GDT's Frankenstein is going to be stunning. I can't wait to see the packaging on that and the artwork that they pull together for that. That's going to be tight. Love your hair and shirt. Thank you. Here's the rest of it. Here he is. Our boy, Big G. I got to do a Godzilla marathon soon after I get that 4K. I don't like how the merching for Bride of Frankenstein makes it seem like they were affectionate to one another when it's the complete opposite of that in the film. Yeah. Yeah, very there's a lot of I feel like if that came out today, there'd be a lot of fan art on Tumblr of them from people who haven't seen the movie, but they should do a version of it where they do fuck. That would be cool. Maybe I'll make that. I love The Land That Time Forgot as a kid. Yeah, I watched it and it's just boring. I don't know, like it's just not that good. But I agree, Bride is better than the first Frankenstein. Stoner Paranormal Investigations. It's been a minute. Thank you for being here, says my favorite reviewer. That's very kind. I'm not the best reviewer out there, but I do really appreciate that. Yes, smash that like button. I'm sorry, I'm asking you to double up. You've got to hit the like button twice today. But it is appreciated. Subscribe and support this awesome channel. I think that is a good message we should all get behind. Have you watched the color and black and white Nightmare Alley's curious what you preferred? So I think I watched the color one and then I think I like skimmed through the black and white one. It's not a movie I love, honestly. Like the original I think is just so good, and I don't think the remake quite gets there. In terms of the one that I like better, I mean, I remember the black and white one looking pretty good, but just in general, I feel like, and like I think of these, this is probably the best one because I think he did grade specifically for both, and he did light specifically for both. But it just kind of feels like a lot of the times it doesn't look quite right because it's not, you know, lit to be that way or whatever. But if I were to rewatch it, I would watch the black and white version. I'll just say that. Okay. Moving along, we have Trog. I love Trog. I was the very first guest on the B&S About Movies podcast to talk about why I love this movie. I think that this is actually this is a story definitely in the tradition of Frankenstein. Let me read what I wrote the first time that I watched this, because I think it's still accurate. Hell yeah. Nosferatu says, I don't care what anyone says, I love Trog. Trog rips. I wrote, think Frankenstein plus King Kong plus a dash of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Significantly more touching and thematically rich than expected. Yeah, dude. I love this movie. I think it's silly, but I also think it's pretty emotional and pretty effective. I don't know. I love a movie where there's just a weird guy and and he's like misunderstood and lovable and kind of animalistic. You know what I mean? Like, I think that this is a kind of a vegan movie a little bit too, you know? How we just decide to mistreat animals and treat them like shit for no reason. Because we just assume that they're of lesser intelligence, or like decide that that's something worthy of death, you know? Not to get on my vegan soapbox, but, you know. From a million years back, horror explodes into today. Anthropologist Dr. Brockton unearths a primitive troglodyte and Ice Age missing link, half caveman, half ape, in a local cave. Through medical experimentation, she manages to communicate with him and domesticate him before he's let loose by an irate land developer goes on a rampage. That's a lot of the movie that you just spoiled. I respect Trog. He a legend. Love to get baked with Trog. Hell yeah, dude. Can we get a Trog plushie? Can we get a Trog, like, something? I want Trog merch, you know? Anyway, I watched the Scream Factory Blu-ray of this. I liked it better the second time, actually. I was kind of like, wondering if I overhyped it just because it was better than I expected. But no, I genuinely love it, and I think it's even better. Val says Trog is in Fortnite. Hell yeah. If Severn grabs this, you know there will be a plushie. I've never pre-ordered any of their tchotchkes, but if they did the Trog 4K complete with plushie, you know I'd pre-order that shit. I'd be on it. This was Joan Crawford's last performance, and while it's a little bit sad that she's just kind of in schlocky exploitation movies with, you know, her caliber, I also really respect it. And like, you know, she puts in a good performance and like she doesn't phone it in. Like it's actually really good. It's a really moving performance. Um and I think it's actually kind of cool that her last film was like some down in the dirt stupid shit like this, but she actually approaches it with a lot of pathos and a lot of heart and kindness and compassion. Shout out Joan Crawford. You know, maybe uh not ideal mothering aside, shout out Joan Crawford. Getting baked with trig was something I think I did in high school. Yeah. It's probably for the best I wasn't smoking weed in high school, but I think I would have helped me. I did not have a good time. What did you think of the new Predator movie? I haven't seen it yet, but I'm excited about it. I'll be seeing it soon, sometime this week. Okay, we did these. We did this. Black Phone 2. Okay. This is artsier and an aesthetic improvement from the first. Unfortunately, the script is way dumber, and we're already working with a pretty dumb first movie. I love the ultra grainy dream sequences, but I got pretty bored with everything else. The story is so silly that I feel like this was obviously never meant to have a sequel. I suppose money talks. Also, this is basically just a schmaltzy, corny Christian movie with a gory sheen. So that's my review on that. I mean, a 6 sounds generous after what I just read. But like I did enjoy it. Like I did like it. Maybe it helps that I saw it in a theater with a big crowd and it was just like a nice experience, but like it's a dumb movie. Like it's not it's not very good. Like the performances are good. They're trying. But like I feel like this was clearly a film that, you know, existed in its own, like it wasn't supposed to have more to it. Like they ended the story, you know? And then studios, money, producers, the director was like, oh, there's something here. We made a shit ton of money off of this. I can come up with a way to make this make sense for a second one. And I fucking feel like we're going to be subjected to a third one. And I'm going to have to watch it and I'm not going to love it. But I feel like if they're going to do a third one, you really just got to swing for the fences. Go real nasty with it. Be real weird with it. Go for it, you know? Because these movies, they're just so tame and cheesy and I don't know. It's a movie about child killers. Like, get gross with it. Get weird with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn. Yeah. What else do I have to say? Oh, I do love those dream sequences, and I kind of like that they just turn him into Freddy Krueger in this. I think that that's kind of fun. But let me just rant about the reviews on this website real quick. I'm gonna fuck you with a dinosaur dick. Damn, hate when people are more creative and funnier than me. I thought that was the worst line in the whole movie, and people are kind of like, hell yeah. I think it's stupid. Okay, twice on the front page of the reviews, we see the secret to making a superior horror sequel is simply reheating A Nightmare on Elm Street's nachos, and then up here it says, not Ethan Hawke reheating Freddy Krueger's nachos. Is that a meme that I'm not familiar with? Like, I saw this twice. It must be the meme of the week or whatever, and I was like, I didn't miss that one. The phone put more emotion into ringing than Gal Gadot ever did into acting. It's kind of a lame joke, honestly. As much as I'm always down to shit on Gal Gadot for being a terrible actress and a terrible person, like, really? The phone? It just, come on, relax. I'm being salty. I used to put vodka in my water bottle in high school. Yay, learning. Damn. I'm 50-50 about New Predator, but for what it was awesome popcorn movie, not like old as PG-13. That's my only thing, but thought he was cool. Nice. I mean, if as long as I have a good time, I'm good. The setting of that snowy camp during a blizzard had all the winter horror vibes. Loved the atmosphere. Yeah, that's the thing, is that it looks great. You know, it looks really good. And those dream sequences, they're shot on like Super 8 and they're really artsy and weird and they're just kind of all over the place. I was really into those. Just the script is dumb. Hi, Addie. Thank you for being here. Um, oh, my Halloween marathon. I watched 10 films on Halloween. So we'll go through those. The Exorcist. So if you listened to my review of the Antichrist on the Imprint cast, am I lost? Am I gone? We good? Are we back? Happy to be here and glad you got the tech issue sorted. I mean, maybe. It looked like it cut out on my end. Are we good? Can we confirm that we're good? It's lagging while you're here. Okay. Still here. We're back. Cool. Goddamn, dude. Everything is such a goddamn disaster. Hey, my battery went up. We're at 93. Let's go. All right. Cool. So doing it with the regular fucking microphone and keeping the power saver on is the secret here. Jesus Christ, dude. Should I turn my Wi-Fi off again so that it's just on the network? What a nightmare. Anyway, because when I do that, sometimes it cuts out and I don't want it to cut out again, you know? If it gets really bad, I'll just do that. Anyway, yes, if you saw my appearance on the the Imprint cast, everyone was talking about how much better the theatrical cut of The Exorcist is, and I was like, well, I guess I'll make a point to see it, because I checked, and I've only ever seen the director's cut, the version you've never seen, what have you. Could be Chrome, it's a resource hog. Yeah, I probably should not be using Google Chrome, for a lot of reasons. But, like, I've been using it for so long that all my shit is there. So, like, it's just annoying. And I've tried, I like looked into how to like transfer all my data, and it was like more of a whole thing than I wanted it to be. So, all right, I'm turning the Wi-Fi off. Hopefully it doesn't shit the bed. But we are connected via Ethernet. We're hardwired here. Just like Metallica. You know what I'm saying? Okay, it looks like we're still good. So hopefully that helps. And it's not getting confused. Yeah, so I looked and my Blu-ray is only oh, Firefox transfers everything from Chrome automatically. It's like a 5-minute process. Dog, that would be sick. I already have Firefox installed. So, thank you. I'll do that. Yeah, really. So I checked and my Blu-ray is the director's cut and it doesn't have the theatrical cut on it, and you know, the things that were described as being exclusive to the director's cut are the things I've seen every time. So I was like, okay. So I put the theatrical cut of The Exorcist on my Plex server and started my marathon with it at 10 in the morning. And here's what I said. Finally watched the theatrical cut, and I think the director's cut is much better. Shrug. Sorry, y'all. I really do think that the director's cut is better. Like, I think the extra footage helps. I think the pacing is better. I think it has, like, most of the scariest stuff in the movie is in that cut. And it just doesn't feel right without it. I don't know. It might just be as simple as whichever one you're used to, but that's the only version I'd ever seen, and it didn't feel right watching it the other way. So that's that one. It's interesting, I switched to Firefox and it was using way more of my computer than Chrome does. Everyone I talked to said the exact opposite, so I don't know what I did wrong. Yes, the spider walk is only on the director's cut. Also, what I think is maybe the scariest part of the movie, when she's in the hospital and it flashes to the demon's face, that's like, that's not in there. I was like waiting for it. It's not there. Like, apparently it's like hella more subliminal or whatever, but like you can't even tell. Like, I don't know. So I'm a director's cut person, but you know, whatever. Different options are valid, I think. Which version you prefer is definitely based on what you saw first and know best. I think that's true, generally speaking, but there's definitely exceptions. Next, I watched Garfield's Halloween Adventure. This was utterly delightful. This is Bigwig, and this is Phineas. Look how good that image. That would be a good tattoo. Getting Odie with a jack-o'-lantern. Val, pay attention. Take notes. That would be a good tattoo. That's a great image. The world's favorite cat. Well, relax. But in his 4th spectacular TV special, Garfield and his pup pal Odie go trick-or-treating only to wind up in a house haunted by ghostly pirates. It's so delightful, dude. I love it. Garfield, he is a vibe. He's just so not having it and not taking people's shit and doing his own thing. I love him. Director's cut is supreme. Fuck yes, you watched Garfield. I love Garfield. The TV series would crack me the fuck up as a kid. Garfield's Halloween Adventure is a classic for me. I grew up with it each year, perfection. This is the first time I'd seen it, and I felt like maybe I watched it growing up. Like, I'm sure it was on or something, but I don't remember it. It feels like the kind of thing they might have put on while we were at school or something, but this is going to be in the rotation, I think. Probably every year. It's like this and Charlie Brown are like now in the rotation for every year. I do want a Garfield tattoo. It's been on my wish list for like 5 years at this point. What do you want? Like specifically, what kind of Garfield do you want? Do you want Garfield himself or just something in the larger universe? Garfield is a childhood favorite of mine every Saturday morning. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I really grew up with this or watched it a lot. I watched the live action films when they came out, and I think I read the comic in the Sunday paper, but that's kind of it. I know of him through like cultural osmosis a lot of the ways. I'm getting a Snoopy tattoo next month. I love Peanuts. Like of Snoopy. Snoopy is good. Flesh for Frankenstein. Bro, I forgot how fucked up and sleazy this movie is. There's some crazy shit that happens. Ooh, am I gonna get in trouble for that? I'll scroll down. Pretty sure I saw a no, I mean I didn't see anything. Y'all didn't either, so be cool. I love this movie. It's absurd and it's ridiculous and it's bloody and it's like psychosexual and tons of nudity, male and female, disgusting, crazy shit that happens in this. Decapitations, fucking gallbladders, like literally fucking gallbladders. It's a whole thing, dude. This movie's crazy and I love it. So there's that, and then ooh. So my process for programming this marathon was to alternate between features and shorts. And so we watched Broken, the 9 Inch Nails film. I don't know what tattoo I want exactly, but probably just Garfield. One of his older designs when he was more cat-like. I have a vintage Garfield plush toy that's the perfect shape. Well, I want to see it. Remind me when I'm done here. I want to see that. A horror musical, short film, and long-form music video filmed and directed by Peter Christopherson is based on an idea by Trent Reznor and is a companion piece to the 1992 Nine Inch Nails EP Broken. So Broken is my second favorite, I think, probably release from Nine Inch Nails. It's close. I mean, it's Downward Spiral, and then it's either this or Pretty Hate Machine, but Nine Inch Nails is a strong candidate for my favorite band. They're the best band I've ever seen live, out of like hundreds and hundreds of bands that I've seen live. I have like almost 1,000. You know, it's out of like well over 1,000 sets that I've seen. Like this was the best I'd ever seen. So seeing them again next year, I'm very excited. Fun fact, Prince loved the Broken EP, and that's why he dabbled in more industrial type rhythms on Come. Nice. Okay, what is my review of this? As a film, I don't know. It's good, I guess, but like it's, you know, it's the music, it's the whole vibe. It's the fact that Trent Reznor in this, I think, I'm going to say this, is hotter than any man has ever looked in human history, and I'm pretty sure it's not going to be topped. Like, that's where men peak. Like, it's not the hottest anybody has ever looked generally, because I think I could come up with some women that have looked better than this, but in terms of the male gender, sorry, this is where it peaks. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of it. He is the best. So okay. Just my phone is buzzing a bit. I'm also bleeding. I fucked up a hangnail a little bit too much, as I want to do. But yes, I was just basically enamored with Trent Reznor the entire time, and that's probably the entirety of my rating. Also, a dude, there's like cock and ball torture in this, so that's pretty cool. And it's on YouTube. You can just see that. I've been on YouTube a long time, and I remember when you couldn't get away with anything that was even remotely adult oriented, or like videos couldn't be longer than 10 minutes, and like yeah, it was a whole thing. It's crazy how far we've come where you can just watch us on YouTube now, you know? Anyway, I watched a concert of theirs for a little bit after this, and he looked just as good in that. I don't know, like, no one has looked as good. I said it was just men. It might actually be nobody. It's looked as good as Trent Reznor did in 1993. It's kind of insane. Okay. Then Blood for Dracula. So I finally got to double feature these two. I've been wanting to do that for years. I'm Dangerous Tonight. I liked this movie a lot. Did I talk about it? I did talk about it already. Yes, because it was a Tobe Hooper one. So we're skipping that. It's The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. It's a banger. It's basically perfect. The 4K looks amazing, by the way. If you've been on the fence about it, because it's like 30 minutes long and like whatever, it's just a TV special. No, it's genuinely one of the best looking 4Ks in my collection. It's so good. And there's other shorts on it that are also restored in 4K, just so you know. I'm probably going to replace it with the whole holiday collection thing, but for now, that's what it's going to be. And it's great. It's delightful. Next, The Raven. I liked this a lot. In terms of the just sent you a photo via Messenger showcasing my Nine Inch Nails obsession. Okay, I was wondering what that was. Let me see. Hell yeah. He's so hot, dude. It's crazy. Just looking at the pictures of Trent you have up there, it's obscene. I don't know what happened, but like he figured out how to make men attractive, you know? This is the reason why I can't fully say that I'm a lesbian, is because Trent Reznor continues to exist and has existed at one point in time. So what can you do? What was I saying? Oh, in terms of the I feel like this and the Black Cat are like a natural double feature, like companion piece or whatever. And of those, yeah, that's exactly what I was about to say. Of those two, I think the Black Cat is better. It's like fucking crazy and like really kinky and very gay and like just an insane movie. But this is also pretty wild, and I also really like it. A brilliant but deranged neurosurgeon becomes obsessively fixated on a judge's daughter. With the help of an escaped criminal whose face he has surgically deformed, the madman lures her, her father, and her fiance to his isolated castle-like home. So yeah, this is very, very loosely inspired by the Poe adaptation. But it's kind of a lot of the Poe ideas like put in a blender, like the various torture devices and stuff. I love Edgar Allan Poe. I'm a huge, huge fan. I mean, he's like Richmond alum, you know, so there's that, but like also I've always had a affinity for his work. Bela Lugosi is one of my favorite actors, genuinely. Like, I love him so much. I want to get a Bela Lugosi tattoo at some point. I had an idea for a while to, on my arm, get Bela Lugosi and Marlene Dietrich portraits, because those, I feel like, are like my two favorite actors. It's from that era, but like in general. Does anyone quote the Raven in The Raven? They sure do. They recite it a few times, actually. So yeah, I like that one a lot. It's fun. And then Frankenweenie, I had never seen the original short film. but the animated version is one of my favorite movies. I just love it so much. Did you hear DiCaprio is doing a biopic on Lugosi? Like he's playing Lugosi, or he's directing it, or he's producing it? What's going on there? I would be interested to see that. Yeah, I love my car is named Frankenweenie. Oh boy. Are we good? Did you hear what I said? He's producing it. Okay. Let's see. This one was really cute. It was cute to see the dog live action, and I think that the story works in 30 minutes. I also think it works in a feature length runtime. But look how cute he is. This is good. Halloween dogs. I'm here for it. Big fan. Shelley Duvall's in this too. Shout out. And then we closed it out with the WNUF Halloween special. Sorry, I just heard that so many fucking times watching this. It gets a little repetitive. I think it's probably too long, and it's not quite, it's just probably too many commercials. It's not quite as good as it could be, but I think it's delightful. And I think it's very accurate, and I'm a fan. It's my second time seeing it. It's not one I'll want to watch all the time, but I think it gets the job done. Oh, hey. Speaking of Marlene Dietrich, one of the partner labels, Icarus Films, is putting out a French movie with her in it. It's called Martin Rumagnac? I don't know, man. French is like a fake language. Was that announced already? I liked the WNUF Halloween special. It was senility to how similar to how shit was on TV back in the late 90s, late 80s, early 90s. I did not watch Cure and Repulsion. I'm so sorry. I didn't get around to them. I had to switch them out for other things. I need to watch those though. People crapped on WNUF more than it deserved. I feel like people generally like it. Yes, it was announced on November 1st. Well, let me take a look at that. We pull up that their VS website and partner labels. Icarus Films. Yep, here it is. Marlene Dietrich. Oh, man. The slipcover is almost sold out. That's cool. And they only printed 500 of them. That's sad. That they can only print 500 of a classic Marlene Dietrich film. It's fucked up. 1946. I don't know, man. I love her so much. She's my goat. My favorite part of WNUF is more standard 80s Halloween newscast in the opening act. I could have watched a whole movie of that with a couple fewer commercial breaks. Yeah, I do think the commercial breaks get pretty tiring. Like, there's so many of them, especially towards the end. This would make a great double feature with Ghostwatch, and I think Ghostwatch is far more successful at what it's trying to do. And then The Hunger, we talked about that. Prisoner of Paradise, I'm going to talk about on Punk Vacation. Sadie, I'm also going to talk about on Punk Vacation. Okay. Bugonia, here we go. I can't talk about this meaningfully because I'm going to spoil it. Let me just say that I loved this movie and I was fully on board, and I was like, another Yorgos fucking banger, knocked it out of the park. The man doesn't miss. Until the last like 20 minutes, and I was like, oh, I don't like that at all. I don't like that. I don't like what it says thematically. I like it as a plot device. I like it as something fucked up to do. I like it as a sort of thing to do as like a iconoclastic prankster director, you know? And like, yeah, it is from the original. I need to rewatch the original, but like, I think we're in a different context politically right now than the original was, where I think it's irresponsible. And I don't think you get away with it as much as you can in South Korea fucking 30 years ago, you know? I feel like we maybe should have changed it, is all I'm saying. But Emma Stone and Jesse Plemons are incredible. Like, I would give either of them the Oscar for this. Like, they're so good. The directing, the cinematography, the shot composition, the color grading, the score, dude, the score. Oh my God. Also, maybe the best needle drops of the year. There's one of them that made me laugh out loud and was like so good. And Good Luck Babe is utilized correctly and like the way it is in the trailer. And I love that fucking song so much. Was this a remake of Save the Green Planet? It sure was. It sure was. A film I have seen, but it's been so long that I forgot how it ended, so this still got me. So go see it for sure. Like, I think this should be supported, and I think it's a great film, but I think its politics are not as good as they should be. I love Bugonia so much and the audaciousness of the ending, even if, yeah, it leads you to question the message. Emma and Jesse are great. They are so good. And, like, I wish I wasn't annoyed by the politics of the ending of this movie. I wish I wasn't. I wish I could turn that part of my brain off and just be like, what a great banger movie, but I can't. I can't help it. I'd watch it again. I think it's really great. I'd have to watch the original again because I loved the original, so I don't know that I'd say that this is better, but check it out. Definitely go see it. Do I have anything else to say about this? Not without spoilers. I might do a video on this. We'll see. Try not to overpromise. Okay, here we go. Lesbian Space Princess. This had exactly 2 showings in Richmond, and I caught one of them. And okay, here's what I wrote. Every movie that comes out going forward needs to be at least this woke to recalibrate our culture. Okay. So this is, let me read the description. I'd love to see you do a longer Lanthimos video. That would be fun. The thing about a director retrospect is that I'm not really sure how I would, like, what the thesis would be of something like that, like what the framing device would be. I mean, I could just go through and review a film, like a whole filmography or whatever, but unless there's like a through line to that, to like, or like a kind of, yeah, I don't know, a central idea to kind of return to. I don't know how that would work structurally or if that would be make for a good video, you know? I could just rank them. I mean, people like rankings, right? But then I have to watch all his movies, which is not like it's going to be a bad thing. It's just going to take a lot of time, you know? Something going on outside. Okay. A queer as fuck sci-fi comedy. A space princess is thrust out of her sheltered life and into a galactic quest to save her bounty hunter ex-girlfriend from evil incel aliens. Say that's pretty accurate. What do I say about this? This, I wasn't sure about it for a minute. I was like, ooh, this is too much. This is too much. I think it's a little too, gosh, how do I talk about this and my criticisms of it without sounding homophobic? It's a little bit like cutesy tender queer, you know what I'm saying? A little bit of that going on. This is straight up like a person, a like lesbian feminist who grew up on Tumblr in the 2010s made a movie, and I mean that in the best and worst ways possible. Like, it is so obnoxious, it is so over the top, but it's also so delightful, and like its heart is in the right place, and I agree with most of the things it's saying. I've seen people accuse this of being transmisogynistic, and I guess I see how you get there. It's just not something that I felt while I was watching it. I felt it for like a second where I was like, ooh, maybe that's not the best choice. But other than that, I think it's fine. I think it's forgivable, and I do think that their hearts are in the right place and they tried. There is a little bit of bioessentialism going on in some of the like comedic beats and some of the symbolism that is utilized here, but overall I think it's fine. And I interpreted one of the main characters being trans in a way that I haven't seen anyone else say, but like at the beginning of the film, there's a shot where they're going through like a if it's 2010 Tumblr, does that mean it has a Super Who lock reference in it? I don't actually know what that means. Maybe somebody who was more online than me at the time could tell me what that means. But yo, if this came out in 2015, there would have every single one of the worst people you know on YouTube about it from like, yo, are we good? Are we good? I see I loaded again. Jesus. We pay for good internet. What the fuck is this? Like, Jesus. Is it like actually messing up the flow of my speech? Like, can you still hear me? Or is it just like cutting out whole sentences? Because I want to make sure that I'm not missing anything, you know? Anyway. Okay, I knew Val would know what the fuck that means. Super Hulock was what Tumblr was built on, is a fandom thing. I have to explain it to you sometime. I got slight buffering, but only lost a few words before you came back. Fuck, that's so annoying. Okay, little glitch, missed a little audio. There's like not a way to fix that. Like, I'm plugged in and like the internet we have is good. Like like if I do a speed test, it's gonna be good. Like, but I guess it's just a connection thing. I don't know what that is. If that's a problem with my computer or what. Sorry for all the tech issues lately. It sucks. Supernatural, Doctor Who, and BBC Sherlock. That was so much of the. Okay. I think I see what's going on here. Okay. As I was saying, yeah, I'm kind of surprised that this hasn't been, I guess it's not big enough yet, but I'm surprised that I haven't seen like libs of TikTok freak out about this movie existing or whatever. There's a comedy collective, I forget what they're called. No, that's not it. Oh wait, maybe it is. I didn't realize she was in this. Okay. So there's a trans person in the cast. So that helps in terms of the the allegations or whatever. Trying to find, yeah, Auntie Donna. It's like a comedy collective, and they play what are called the straight white Malians, which was like a little bit of like, okay, it's kind of on the nose, but they're so funny. Like they're the bit and like their whole character, like the whole thing is so funny. There's like, and I think just took me a second to get on this wavelength because like for the first 20-30 minutes or so, there was a lot of times where I was like cringing a bit, but like there was a lot of parts that had me like laughing out loud. And you know, it was just me in the theater, so like I could be as loud as I wanted to, but like I really enjoyed this. I think it's extremely endearing and I would watch this again for sure. So my only other criticism, it was one that I can't do without spoilers, but this movie ends too soon. Like it literally feels like they ran out of budget, and I was just like, what? You're forgetting this very obvious next part that needs to happen, you know? I would watch sequels of this for sure. I hope they make more of them. Anyway, woke is back. Let's go. Support woke films, please and thank you. Apparently Umbrella is putting this out, so buy that and check it out. Also, this was a new experience I had in the theater. When I walked in, I was a little bit late, so I don't know how this transitioned from the trailers to the film itself, but like I saw the screen, like the Blu-ray menu screen. They were just screening the Blu-ray and like I could see the menu. And then it like stopped in the middle of the credits. I wanted to see if there was a post-credit scene or something, and they just cut it. I mean, it was pretty late, so I guess they just wanted to go home or something, but I was like, well, hang on a minute. I'm the one person who actually sits here and watches the whole thing, so can we finish it? But whatever. Anyway, that was kind of fun. Oh boy, Megalopolis. I think Dana had to peace out, but boy, what to say about this? Well, I wrote a review, so let's read it. This is a catastrophic failure on basically every conceivable level, and so much of it is so boring and borderline unwatchable. That being said, there's nothing else quite like it. I'm glad it exists, and I'm glad I saw it. Yeah. So I saw this. My local indie cinema screened a double feature of this and Megadoc, which I logged right after. Most people left after this, by the way. It looks like a rehash of Atlas Shrugged type shit. You're not wrong. I'm not familiar with that story, but when I was reading the Wikipedia, that came up a lot as like a point of comparison. It's not a conservative movie like that. It kind of libs out a little bit, honestly. Like, I think this is definitely peak lib cinema. And I mean that both in its most endearing and most derogatory ways. Definitely what's going on here. Let's see. If you can't see a better future, build one. In a futuristic New York known as New Rome, visionary architect Caesar Catalina dreams of building Megalopolis, a utopian city that redefines society's limits. Opposing him is the corrupt mayor Franklin Cicero, who clings to power and profit. Between them stands Julia, the mayor's daughter, whose love for Caesar forces her to choose between loyalty, ambition, and the fate of humanity. Okay, relax. Okay. So this was Francis Ford Coppola's dream project for over 40 years. He's been trying to make this movie. And I feel like it kind of shows in that, like, it just got away from him. You know, there's too much happening here. There's too much going on. It doesn't make a lot of sense. It's not good. Like, this man directed The Godfather. This man directed Bram Stoker's Dracula. It shouldn't be possible for him to make a film this bad. But he did, and I watched it. It exists. I have to say, if we're going to have people rich enough to drop $120 million on something, I would rather have more of those people dropping it on their insane fucking scripts than on, like, I don't know. What do rich people spend their money on? Stocks? I don't know. You know what I mean? On fucking the war machine, like on fucking the military industrial complex or the prison industrial complex, like, or just furthering their own wealth, you know? You might as well, yeah, yachts. You might as well, doomsday bunkers, yeah. You might as well get a guy who can, like, fund a passion project, you know? I think in the ideal world, in luxury space communism, right, everybody could make their insane movie like this, right? That's the goal. That's the dream. Renting Venice for their private wedding. Yeah, that's true. Just renting a whole ass city. Yeah, why not? Attended by our friend Sydney Sweeney. God, that's a whole thing. Hey, what happened there? Right? Like, she was cool. I'm not making that up, right? You watched my video, I hope, on Immaculate. She bought that script. She knows what that movie's about. She knows it's like anti-Catholic, like subversive, pro-choice shit, right? And she's out here being a Republican and like dating the worst people on earth and going to Jeff Bezos' wedding and making fucking eugenics ads and stuff and being weird about it when people ask her. Like, it's so easy to just be like, oh, that's not what I meant. It was just a joke about how I have awesome big titties. Like, it's not about that. That she's like, not saying that, and it's weird. Like, I guess she just got rich and decided to be a white supremacist. Yeah, very cool. Very cool. I am 1 degree of separation from Sydney Sweeney, by the way, which used to be a point of pride for me, and now it's a little weird, but whatever. Maybe I'll hit up Michael Moen and be like, hey, what's going on there? You know? Sydney is so perplexing. Christie is another firmly anti-Republican film, and she's phenomenal in it. That's the thing. I don't know if I want to go see that. She needs a better publicist. Yeah, maybe. Because, like, isn't that about like a lesbian icon? Like, it's like a feminist thing, and she did like a feminist event recently. Like, what are we doing? Get your shit together. Quit being weird. You know, have a redemption arc, please. Join the wokes. You know, join dark woke. Be hot for good, please and thank you. Yeah, I'll probably go see it. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't. Megalopolis. That's what we're talking about. I had to leave the theater about 30 minutes into this to like pull up the Wikipedia and be like, bro, what the fuck is happening in this movie? I have no idea. It's so sloppy and messy and crazy and all over the place and like made up of like little sound bites or like little scenes that aren't coherent together, and like it's so ambitious but it doesn't quite have the script to back it up. Like it also looks hideous. Like, I'm sorry, but the aesthetic of this is terrible, and the special effects are awful, which after I watched the documentary, I know why. It's because the special effects team was like, this man doesn't know what he's doing. And we're walking, like, it's crazy. You'll go from, like, an insanely expensive, interesting, and, like, kind of beautiful shot that's still kind of marred by a hideous aesthetic. You'll cut from that to, like, literally, like, PowerPoint presentations. It's not good. And like special effects that are 20 years out of date, it's rough. It kind of looks like an early 2000s film, honestly. Adam Driver is terrible in this. Giancarlo Esposito is okay. Natalie Emmanuel, she's okay. Aubrey Plaza, her name is Wow. What the fuck is that about? I couldn't believe that was her real name, but like she's either amazing or horrible in this. I actually haven't decided. She's doing so much like camp in this that like it kind of goes around to being like, oh, you understood that we're making a dumb piece of shit and you're like acting accordingly. But it feels like it's supposed to be good, you know? Wow Platinum. Yep, that's her fucking name. I'm gonna say that she's terrible in this. Shia LaBeouf is not terrible in this, but he's doing a lot. Jon Voight is fine, I guess. He's doing weird shit. Lawrence Fishburne is fine, I guess. I don't know. It's too much. The whole thing is too much. Megadoc. I kind of wished, maybe this isn't fair of me to be judging a film based on what I wish it was as opposed to what it actually is. But I wish that this was more about, and not that I want it to be less about what it is about, but I wish it was more about the cultural reaction to this film and like sort of the aftermath of it, as opposed to just a straightforward making of. It was interesting and it helped create a lot. It helped me in terms of contextualizing a lot of what was happening in the film I had just seen. Yeah, it is good. It's just kind of, it's not particularly creative. It's a little long and it's a lot of talking head type stuff. And I don't know. I feel like it could have been trimmed down a bit. And then use that extra time to kind of explore after the fact or whatever. But I think this is probably fairly essential to watch in conjunction with that if you want any hope of understanding what the fuck was going on, you know? Oh, and we're at the last one. Okay, I'm a little bit at the end of my energy levels here, my talking and everything. So, if I had legs, I'd kick you. I watched this last night in the theater. I wrote Eraserhead for Motherhood. I've seen a lot of comparisons to Uncut Gems, which I think makes sense. Seeing a few other films called out as point of comparisons, but to me, I'm shocked because I was like, that's my take on it, but I'm not going to write that down because it's probably going to be like 20 reviews saying that this is literally just Eraserhead, but it's a lot like Eraserhead. It's all about the anxieties and the worst case scenario of motherhood and stuff. It's not as esoteric and it's not quite as fucked up as Eraserhead, but the themes are very similar. Let's see. Everything is under control. With her life crashing down around her, Linda attempts to navigate her child's mysterious illness, her absent husband, a missing person, and an increasingly hostile relationship with her therapist. Yeah, this movie is stressful as fuck. It's like everything that could possibly go wrong and be terrible is like so... is what happens. Like it's an onslaught. It never lets up. Like it's so stressful and so... it's a lot. Like this movie is a lot. Rose Byrne is incredible in this. A$AP Rocky is great. This is the second film this year I've seen with him in it, and he's great in both of them. I loved him in Highest to Lowest, and I loved him in this. So I think his career is one to watch. I think he's going to be doing some really interesting, cool stuff. And what else do I want to say about this? Oh, this is directed by Mary Bronstein. You might not know who that is, but I was like, this reminds me a lot of the Safdie brothers and of a little film called Frownland. And she is the wife of Ronald Bronstein, who directed Frownland and was in Good Time. He's a collaborator with the Safdie. So I'm like, well, that makes a lot of sense. As soon as the credits rolled and it was like produced by Ronald Bronstein and Josh Safdie, I was like, well, there that is. That makes a lot of sense. I didn't quite make the connection that they were married, but yeah, it's definitely got those vibes for sure. So if you're a fan of the Safdies, if you're a fan of like anxiety-inducing cinema, definitely check this out. This would make a great feature with either Eraserhead or Frownland, I think. Or maybe a triple feature. I love Frownland. That's an upsetting movie, but I love it a lot. Okay, y'all. We did it. We are current. So next week, I think we're gonna do, again, we're gonna catch up for the week, and then we're gonna do, you know, these keep falling forward, and I thought that was not supposed to happen, but I kind of look how the horns look when they're facing forward. I think that looks good. So we're gonna hang out with that. Hopefully it doesn't fall off my face, but we're almost done anyway, so it's fine. So glad I got to watch live. Thanks for a fun show as always. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad that you think that these are fun. I have fun doing them, so I hope you all have fun watching them. Thank you all for being here. Thanks for being active. The chat was pretty good today. We had a consistent like 10 people hanging out, so that's nice. Yeah, I had fun. I'm sorry for all the tech issues. I promise I'm doing my best. What else did I have to say? I think that's it. Let's run back the donations. Thank you, 9V Digital Cinema, for your help and for this very generous tip. I appreciate you. Same to Dustin. Thank you so much. Y'all are the best. Y'all make it worth it to put in all this work and do this shit every week. It's very appreciated. Oh, I was going to say next week we're going to do a Blu-ray update too, because it's been a minute. I'm still going through the backlog of editing the Blu-ray updates from the previous streams, but yeah, I've accumulated a decent amount of stuff, so we'll do that, and we'll do the watches for the week. Cool, y'all. Thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out. Have a good night. Happy Saturday. I'll see you next week. Bye.